Hello everyone, I'm Andrew Zhang, and I'm the main tournament director of this year's Parago event. Assisting me will be Kevin Huang, and so in general, this tournament will be a lot more casual than the normal Parago events that many people are used to, but I'm sure it'll be just as enjoyable. Hopefully it should remind you of Parago. So starting off, I just wanted to remind everyone that the Parago tournament takes place on Thursday, the 6th of August. Round 1 will start at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, sharp, and Round 2 will hopefully begin around 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If the rounds take a little bit longer and you finish early, and your opponents at your table have also finished early, you can begin your Round 2 early. You can click this link here to access the full Ego Congress schedule. Next, this tournament will be split into tables. Each table will have 4 pairs based on pair points. The tournament style will be single elimination with consolation games. So the winning teams from the first round play each other in the second round, and the losing teams from the first round play each other in the second round. The platform we'll be using is PandaNet. If you don't have PandaNet, please download and create an account as soon as possible. You will be automatically added to a room called US Eco Congress Parago Tournament if you already have an account. Most importantly, to use Parago, to play Parago on PandaNet, you must have a desktop or a laptop. Parago does not work well with mobile devices.
I'm Benjamin, and I will show you how to use GoPanda 2 for playing at the Parago tournament. So first of all, if you haven't downloaded it yet, you can go to pandanet-ijs.com, click on the GoPanda 2 client, and download the appropriate version for your operating system. You can then install it. It should be quite straightforward. And after you start it, it looks like this. So actually I started multiple versions at the same time for all 4 Parago players. So this is player 1, player 2, player 3, and player 4. They all look pretty much the same. So let's say player 1 wants to find his partner. So you can sort the player list by name, either ascending or descending. Maybe descending is easiest for us. And we find test Ben 2. We add him as a friend. And now the friend will show up on top of the list. So in the future, you can easily find each other. The other player can do the same to add you as a friend. So adding a friend is not a mutual thing on PandaNet. Yeah, let's talk to each other. So I click on the player, I start chat, and I can type something, which then player 2 will see on the bottom right. There's something blue, so I can click on it, and it opens the chat window, so you can respond. Well, let's close the chat for now. Close it here as well. So the next thing you want to do is join the room for the tournament. Unfortunately, I don't have access to the room right now, but you should find something like Ego, Congress, Parago, something in that list and click on it to join it. If you don't find it, don't worry, you can still play. You just won't see the other games on the left side. But besides that, it's quite the same. So let's start a game. First we go to the Home tab on GoPanda 2 and we click Play Parago. You can automatically seek opponents to play with, but in our case we want to choose the players. So let's select that. I already entered the time settings before. You maybe need to add it yourself. So you can add 20 minutes, 1 minute per period, and 2 stones. I think it's the correct setting. And you also need to type in the names of all 4 players. I prepared that. In case you mistype something, don't worry. It will give you an error message, could not find this user. And you can just do it over. And now it will be remembered like it is on my screen. And you can just fix it and keep going. So after you did that, the other players got some message if they want to accept the team game. So we can check if the colors are correct and if the time is correct. After, if we agree, we can OK. Player 3 will do the same, as well as player 4. So now an empty board will open. The player who is the first black player is player 1 in our case. He will get a message to select a handicap for this game. In case you play a handicap game, you can pick that. You can also pick no komi, which is like 1 stone handicap. And if you press OK, the stones are being sent. Or if you cancel or select no handicap, you can just start playing. So yeah, player 1 and 2 play against player 3 and 4. So that means it should be now player 3's turn. We can start playing. And so on. You can also go to full screen by clicking on this button or by pressing F. If you do it again, the board will become even larger. And you can press F or click on this again to leave the full screen again. You can also talk to your opponents in this box, and the others will see it. Yeah, below the board there's an undo, a pass, and a resign button. I hope you don't need the resign button, but if you do, you can resign here. The game will end if there are 3 consecutive passes. So we can try that, although the game is not really finished yet. But let's do that. So player 1 will pass, then player 3 will also pass, and player 2 will pass. So usually it will calculate which stones it believes are dead. They will be marked with an exclamation mark. But you still need to manually remove them. So let's assume these stones are dead. So everything will be black's territory, which is nonsense, of course, but just for the sake of this demonstration, you can do that. You can also reset scoring if something went wrong. And yeah, then you can press done. I think maybe the other players need to press done as well. So maybe player 1 presses done, player 3 presses done, and player 4 presses done. And then we see that black won by 357.5 points. If you want to review the game with your partner and your opponents, the player who made the invitation, so that's player 1, can start the review from the Home tab. Just click on Home, Start Review, and you can select the last game. You can make it private if you don't want other people to join, just the players, but I leave it as public. So I start the review, and now the other players, like player 2, they got an invitation on the top right to join the review. So let's do that. Player 3 will also join, as well as player 4. And now player 1 has control, so you can add different variations. And stones, you can add letters, shapes, and so on. You can also pass control to another player. So let's do that. Now player 3 has control, so let's go to player 3's screen. Yeah, now he can play. And we can give back the control to player 1. Yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoy the tournament, and good luck to you. Please stay healthy, and thank you.
So the game rules and settings for this tournament should be automatically preset in the room. Just in case, the rules will be Japanese rules, so 6.5 Gomi. The time settings will be 20 minutes main time with 2 moves per 60 seconds, which means both people in your pair needs to play a move within these 60 seconds. The handicap will be based on pair points, which is the average rank of the 2 players in each pair. And for simplicity, only the strongest player on the white team creates the game. If both players on the white team are of the same rank, only one of them needs to create the game. The late policy is if a team fails to show up within 15 minutes after the scheduled start time, they automatically forfeit the game. If this is for round 1, they will still be allowed to play in round 2. If a player disconnects, they have 5 minutes to reconnect. This is an automatic PandaNet setting. But if a player disconnects more than 3 times, they automatically forfeit the game. So some unaccepted behaviors are undos, communication on the same team in any form. There's one exception to this, which is asking for consent to resign. But this must be through the PandaNet chat, so it is visible to the opposing team. Finally, any form of cheating, including but not limited to AI programs, is also prohibited. So after the games are finished, the results will be recorded in Google Sheets. Only the winners need to record the results in the official bracket sheet. So if you have any problems or anything you feel like the TD should see, feel free to contact myself, the main tournament director, or Kevin, the assistant tournament director. Our PandaNet IDs are here. If you win your table, you will receive a 1-month basic subscription to AI Sensei. And for more information and more detailed information on everything I've talked about, you can click this link. So now I'll show you how to use the official bracket spreadsheet, how to find the different players, your opponents, and how to record score. Starting in the first column, we have the board number. Every 2 boards is a table. So AB would be at the same table. And each team will have a team number, which is like a seed number. So this will be based on pair points, which you'll see here. This will have a list of the players. So female player, male player. These will be PandaNet handles, so there will not be real names. The handicap is here, the Komi is here, and the team color will be decided for you. So it'll tell you if you're white. If you're not white, then you're playing black. The winning teams of each round will record their score using this column. To record your score, you would click this triangle. It'll drop down a menu for 2 options, either X or Y, or the 2 teams in the game. The players that win the first round will be displayed here, and they will begin in the second round. So anything past this column over here will be for round 2. So Team X and Team Z won their first round, so they would play in the second round. And here we have all the game information, and the winner would record themselves here, and they will be displayed as table winners. So you can see that the constellation bracket is very similar and almost identical to the official bracket. The only difference being this column saying losing teams of round 1. So the losing teams will be automatically put here based on what the winners have filled out in the official bracket here. They will play, and this is the game information. The winning team from this game will display their name, will select themselves here, and their name will be displayed. So as you can see here, we have the losing teams of round 1, 1, 3, and 5, because as we saw earlier, 2, 4, and 6 were the winning teams of round 1. Likewise, Y and W were the losing teams of round 1, and X and Z were the winning teams, so they're right here. And the loser doesn't have to fill in their information because this information is automatically updated depending on what the winner puts in this box, in this column. So also, moving to round 2, the only difference is the players are from the losing teams, and this is their game information. And the winner of the round 2 in the losers bracket will select their name here, and they will win, and they will be displayed here. That's it. Thank you for participating in this year's Parago tournament. If you have any more questions, feel free to contact me through email.